evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 6, Episode 19, DJI Mavic 3 Pro on its way. Hopefully, everyone is doing well this evening. We got a good crew in the chat. Let's see who we got here. USA Drone Flyer, Captain Joe America, Drone Shots, Akarasho's here, JSK Enterprise. Let's see who else we got. Lauren is here, Johnny Drone Flyer. Welcome, Johnny. One Vision Aerial, Drone Juice Media, Fly Guy Merrill. And I know Richard is here. Awesome. Okay. Want to wish Ron's wife, Susan, a very happy birthday. So you see Ron and just pass on a message to him to wish his wife, Susan, a very happy birthday today. He will not be joining us tonight. Marcus will be joining us at the bottom half of the hour here. Got a lot to talk about tonight. It's been there's a lot of stuff going on, and want to try to pass all that information on to you. Programming note, just to let you guys know some things that are coming up for me. Next week, we still have Rotor Talk Live. However, Wednesday next week, we'll be leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. No, I do know when I'll be back again. We're headed up to Columbus, Ohio. Going to meet our baby granddaughter, Addie. Never met her. We were 2 days late from meeting her when we were up there in December. And also going to Hamvention. It's for lack of a better term, it's the largest gathering in the United States of ham radio people, and it's going to be in Dayton, Ohio, actually in Xenia, Ohio, and there's going to be manufacturers are going to be there. The stores will be there. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of my other YouTube content creators out there. So be looking on Ham Radio Basics. I'm going to be doing some, maybe doing a little bit of live stuff from over there. You never know. So those of you that follow me over there, make sure that you do that. So we're looking to have some fun, and we're also looking to really enjoying seeing both our granddaughters and meeting our Addie for the first time, and also my son-in-law and daughter too. I think that's good that I mentioned them. So. But that's coming up, and we'll be back on the air next Tuesday. We're decided to take off that Monday. We're going to be heading back a little earlier on Monday, but even flying, for 2 hours, it's jet lag and stuff. That's all I got to say. Art, welcome. Good to see you tonight. So with all this being said, okay, Mavic 3 Pro on its way. We're going to talk a little bit more about that coming up here. But had some something that's really been done. Well, one of the things first, okay. How many of you guys I'd like to see it in the chat. Hey, Ray. Hey, Sergeant Rock. Some of you guys in the chat maybe before your time, but Donnie Hampton. If you guys know him at all, throw your hand up in the chat. Let me know. I don't know if you know this or not. Two of the first people that commented on my very first video were our good friend Kelly Shores and Donnie Hampton. Donnie has reviewed the Xenos and the Potensics and other that. He also did car reviews. Anyway, he's in a bad way right now, and he really needs our help. And I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this on there. He's asked for a GoFundMe. He's applied for Social Security. He's applied for permanent disability. He has a number of different health issues. He cannot work, and he does need your help. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. And I think I did post this out on the Facebook group and page. If not, I'll post this again. Donnie's just a great guy. Okay. I know a few years ago, he actually went to Vegas, and one of the companies sponsored his trip to go out there. And he's when he had time, he's done fantastic reviews. So if you could see a way to help Donnie out, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. I know some of you guys know who he is. So if you could, please consider giving some kind of a donation towards Donnie. Donnie's a great guy, and he really could use your help right now. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. Every day, it seems like we're finding out another state is banning DJI drones. All right. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. All right. You absolutely have to be kidding me. All right. Well, lo and behold, another state has, and I'm going to share this with you guys here. And it's the Razorback state. It's Arkansas. Okay. Legislators in Arkansas have joined a still but small, powerful, and gradually expanding cohort of officials in the U.S. moving to formally ban use of drones made in China for official purposes. A blacklisting movement first became popular among politicians in Washington targeting sector powerhouse DJI. Arkansas Act 525 bans the procurement and operation of drones made by companies in China or other countries that have been added to official U.S. blacklists. It stipulates that UAVs from covered foreign entities prescribed from use by various U.S. federal agencies may not be bought by the state of Arkansas or any of its divisions or organizations, including police and firefighting forces. The Arkansas law gives current operation of banned drones until 2027 to ditch the now prohibited craft unless they receive a waiver from the state's Department of Transport to continue using them. Adoption of Arkansas legislation was motivated by the same accusations that accompanied earlier federal blacklists of DJI drones, including claims data collected by the company's UAVs is being leaked back to Chinese Communist Party services for nefarious use. Because the Arkansas law piggybacks on those federal entity scrolls, its sponsors essentially parroted the same unsubstantiated allegations against DJI that have been used to justify blacklisting in Washington. Okay. And there's some more here. And again, I'll let you guys read through this. But what was real interesting here, down here, DJI for its part, again, denied the allegations. It has ties to, works for the Chinese government, and described its products as designated for and both valuable to both consumer and enterprise clients. News of the Arkansas bill's passage appeared to have been slow in coming, prompted, it appears, by the Democrat Gazette story yesterday. Okay. Ironically, it was the same day a new law in Florida went into force banning government agencies from using drones originating from a foreign country of concern. Okay. Now, May 3rd update. Now, just hours after Drone DJ published the above post, officials in Alabama joined the growing crowd wielding legislation to ban state agencies from buying or using drones made from companies in China. Alabama Representative tabbed a bill that would prohibit state administrations of purchasing UAVs produced by Chinese companies on the Federal Office of Foreign Asset. All right, there's just a bunch of words right there. And they're concerned the U.S. Army's Redstone Arsenal located in the hometown of Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, wow, that's just a lot of stuff there, guys. That's just a lot of stuff there, okay? Maddie, yeah, that's, and I got more on this. So I'm going to continue here in a second. Now, lo and behold, there was an article that came out today about more the goings on in the state of Florida. And let's see if I can go ahead and bring that up here. And I'm not sure. There was an article regarding an update regarding the state of Florida, okay, that I wanted to share with you guys, and I thought I had bookmarked it, but apparently I did not. So let's see if I can scroll through here real quick to find this. And there's the thing about Arkansas, hotel drones. Okay. All right. Well, for that, what I'll share it with you. The other article that I saw talked about from the state of Florida that legislators have authorized up to $25 million additional funds for first responder agencies to purchase non-Chinese drones. Okay. And as you know, and I'm preaching to the choir because I know all you guys know about all this, you know, it's a very limited scope in terms of what they can be able to purchase. Okay. I know there's a Parrot and Oppie, there's Skydio. I mean, guys, they can't purchase Autel because Autel is made in China. So just want to be clear on that. Very limited in terms of what they can purchase here. And I want to throw something out on all this. Okay. Just food for thought here. All right. This is coming from both sides of the aisle. So this isn't politically motivated on one side or another. So one of the things that I've seen raised, several people raised this in some videos and some comments and forums, was the fact that maybe the government and these governors have information that we're not privy to as to why they're banning these drones. So, and I've also heard from the standpoint of, you remember what happened with Huawei, okay? How, they used to sell phones here in the United States, but they don't anymore. They've been banned from doing that because of, and it was proven with them, but they've been forced out of business here in the United States. And, some people are saying, oh, somebody's trying to drive the market share of DJI down so someone else can purchase them. Okay. There's all kind of stuff floating out there about all this. Okay. So just throwing all this out here. Just want to let you know. I agree, Drone Views. I agree. There's nothing out there that's anywhere near compatible. Now, Skydio does have a great series of enterprise drones, but they're not like DJI, okay? With the thermal capabilities, being able to fly in pretty much all kind of conditions, it's just not there. It's just not there right now. So we'll see. I wanted to throw this out here for discussion. The public answer is not the real reason when it comes to anything security like this. Yeah, Hot Rod. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree 100%. We're not being told the truth. When have we ever been told the truth? I'm not going there. Okay, I'm not going there. We're talking about drones. Okay, that's all I know. That's all I know right now. Okay. Like I said, Marcus joined us the bottom half of the hour. Ron is out celebrating his wife Susan's birthday. So if you see Ron, make sure you pass on a happy birthday to his wife, Susan. I know I've already mentioned that, but just want to make sure that we cover that. Okay. All right. Well, we're all excited because, and this is one of the things I want to spend a little bit of time. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's piggybacking on all of this. Okay. The state of Iowa is starting to take action, but not against DJI. Okay. Let's take a look at this article here, because this one kind of came out of the blue with me, and I'm like, okay. All right. Iowa lawmakers seek to limit drone flights over homes and farms. All right. This is from Drone XL. New legislation in Iowa legislature aims to criminalize drone flights in certain situations. House File 572 proposes charging individuals with a simple misdemeanor for flying a drone over someone's farm or home outside of city limits. If a surveillance device such as a camera is attached to the drone, the charges become more severe. Furthermore, the bill would enable judges to ban individuals from flying drones for 2 years if they are sued for harassment due to flying over someone's property. And they talk about, I believe this bill is a step in the right direction to protect Iowa's farmers and ranchers as they work every day to protect the safety and security of their livestock, the operation they take pride in. Initially, the bill did not exempt structures within city limits, raising concerns for drone pilots, owner of Hawkson Aerial Photography. He feared legislation would negatively impact his business. My biggest frustration is just having the state come in and figure out what they want to do with drone regulations. I don't think they should be having any say in it, okay? While the FAA oversees airspace, local lawmakers can restrict drone landing and takeoff locations. The proposed law includes various exceptions, such as obtaining permission from the property owner operating as part of a state entity or collecting climate or weather data. The legislation also permits drone flights above 400 feet, which the FAA only allows under certain circumstances. Hawkinson and other small business owners urged lawmakers to limit the restrictions to rural areas. He later helped establish Islands for Drone Freedom to educate lawmakers about future bills. The bill garnered bipartisan support, passing the House. However, it's yet to pass the Senate. Okay, all right. Lots of stuff here. All right, lots of stuff in that. We're looking at these legislatures. Okay, trying to get all my words out here. Okay, they're taking action. All right, and here I'm not so sure this is. I mean, for rural, I get it and I understand that. Okay, and if it's really kind of not your property, you really probably don't have, unless you meet one of those exemptions, you probably just don't, have anything to do with that. Okay. And, it could be, another farmer competing with another farmer and all this kind of good. And you don't need to go there. You don't need this. Okay. So in certain cases, I can see this. But, if you're flying out over a ball field, you're not flying over people. You guys know the drill. I mean, I don't have to preach to the choir. You know what's going on. There, yeah, I hear you, Akaracho. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Big Brother is watching for sure. So. I don't know, and remote ID is coming up in September, as you guys are all well aware of that. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just, what are you guys thinking about this, especially the Iowa thing? Because we know about what's going on in Florida, now Arkansas, now Alabama. What do you guys think about what's going on in Iowa? Okay. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I agree, Lauren. I agree. Airspace is the FAA's responsibility. So, I hope that sticks. I really do hope that sticks, because, in other words, if it doesn't, then that's a problem. That's a real problem. So, I'm just, like I said, kind of shaking my head on that one. Yeah, I'm just going there. Okay. All right. Mavic 3 Pro. All right. It's starting to ship right now. All right. All right. Yeah. And that's kind of crazy stuff right now. So I agree, Mill City Sky. I agree. All right. So there was a great article that was out in Drone DJ. And Mavic 3 Pro versus, and I don't have this up on the screen. I think that would help. This was an excellent article, and I highly encourage you guys to take a look at this. Mavic 3 Pro versus Mavic 3 Classic. Which DJI drone should you buy? First of all, let you guys know, is Lauren has pointed out, and I want to make sure that everybody understands this. The DJI Mavic 3 is it? We'll call it end. They're no longer selling it. All right, some people call it end of life, whatever. But it's no longer being sold. You can't buy it out on a DJI store. You'll probably go out on eBay and buy it, and maybe if you get lucky at some retailer, they might have it. But right now, it's the DJI Mavic 3 Classic and the DJI Mavic 3 Pro. So this article talks about and compares, and I want to spend a few minutes going over this because I think you guys should know, all right, what you're getting with each drone. And I think it's really important. A lot of people will right away balk at something because of the price, but yet you need to look at the feature set to see what's in that drone to see if it's going to meet your needs. So let's spend a few minutes looking at this right now. Have some cooperating cursor here. All right. Mavic 3 Pro is the first triple camera drone in DJI's flagship Mavic 3 series. Okay. Mavic 3 is first announced in November 2021. It's been one of the most successful flagship portable drones from DJI. Mavic 3 Classic joined a year later as a more affordable alternative, and the new Pro version, which is priced the same as the OG Mavic 3, has been shipping out to customers only today. Okay, with over 40 minutes of flight time, all three drones can shoot stunning images courtesy of their proper Hasselblad main camera, and yet all three models are equipped differently. Let's take a look at the camera specs below. Okay, now they're comparing the Mavic 3, but you can't get the Mavic 3 anymore. Okay, now 4/3 CMOS Hasselblad camera, same for the Mavic 3. All right, same for the Classic. 1/1.3-inch CMOS medium telecamera, Hasselblad camera. 1/2-inch CMOS telecamera, Hasselblad camera. 1/2-inch CMOS telecamera. Hasselblad camera 20 megapixels, medium telecamera 48 megapixels, telecamera 12 megapixels. This is all on the Pro. Hasselblad natural color solution, HNCS D-Log M/HLG. Okay. Mavic 3, 4/3 CMOS, Hasselblad camera, 1/2-inch CMOS telecamera. Okay. Hasselblad camera, 20 megapixels, telecamera 12 megapixels. Okay. Normal D-Log HLD. Okay. Mavic 3 Classic, 20 megapixels, normal D-Log HLG. Okay. DJI explains Mavic 3 Classic has 1/4 CMOS Hasselblad camera. It does not support the gimbal lock function. Mavic 3, meanwhile, has two cameras in addition to the Hasselblad camera, has a 162 millimeter telecamera, and supports a gimbal lock. The new Mavic 3 Pro is the only DJI consumer drone with three cameras. In addition to Hasselblad camera and upgraded 166 millimeter telecamera, it has a unique 70 millimeter telecamera. And while a 70 millimeter telecamera may seem minor, it significantly benefits photographers. The new camera captures footage with more substantial spatial compression, which helps better highlight the subjects in complex environments and emphasizes the subject's relationship with its surroundings. The Mavic 3 Pro series has the added benefits of supporting various color modes, including Hasselblad Natural Color Source HNCS. Well, wow, okay. D-Log, D-Log M, and HLG. These color modes preserve greater image details and simplify color grading during post-production. Okay. Now, the following images depict the capability of Mavic 3 Pro's three cameras quite nicely. Okay, and you can see here that's a 166 millimeter telecamera. This is a 70 millimeter right here, and this is the 24 millimeter right here. Okay, that's 166, 70, and 24. All right, 166, 70, and 24. A huge advantage for the Mavic 3 Pro users is to get smoother and more natural transitions by switching between different focal lengths. They only need to tap on the Fly app screen. As such, capturing the richer storytelling angles and making footage more cinematic becomes effortless. Okay, I'm going to read this again so you guys understand what they're saying here. Okay, a huge advantage for the Mavic 3 Pro users is to get smoother and more natural transitions by switching between different focal lengths. They only need to tap on the Fly app screen. Okay, that's tremendous. Okay, you know, you're not, it's just one tap and you get this taken care of. Now, I haven't done it yet, but you know, making something easy like that is really worthwhile. Okay, so compared to drone design, okay, you can see from a weight standpoint, the Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Classic weigh the same. Mavic 3 Pro obviously weighs more because of the extra lens and because of the extra camera on there. Okay. Folded, you know, the size 2311 by 98 by 95.4. It is bigger. It's a little bit unfolded without propellers. 3475, 290, 107.7, and it's just barely okay. The Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Classic are pretty much identical in terms of physical body capabilities. Also worth pointing out, standard version of these drones does not ship with the same remote controller. Mavic 3 Pro's standard version includes DJI RC. The Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Classic drones originally included DJI RC N1 controller. All right. In the meantime, there he is. All right, sir. Good to see you. We're going over, Drone DJ put out an article comparing the Mavic 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro and the Mavic 3 Classic. And we're taking a look at that. Oh, by the way, right before dinner, ta-da!
Today was the day, huh?
Today was the day. Yes, UPS
Yeah.
dropped it off. It's kind of funny. I got a little story about that. Okay, it showed that it shipped on May the 3rd. Okay, I didn't get any tracking updates. Zero updates. It showed it shipped from California May 3rd, and I figured, what? 3 days, 4 days, it'd be here. Okay. Well, this weekend it still didn't show anything until Monday.
Right. Same here.
When it finally showed something, which was, it was bizarre. I mean, it was just absolutely, positively bizarre. So
Yeah, I just think that that's the way they did it, so that because it's I just saw an ad that said from DJI that said it's available in stores today.
yeah, I saw that
So
too.
I think that they just are they tried to make sure that we didn't get them before the stores did. I suppose that's just a guess.
You're probably right. I would venture a guess. You're probably right here.
Yeah.
Just this article right here. Just in finishing up this comparison here, all three models have multiple sensing cameras with broad detection range, enabling the drone to respond to obstacles earlier, even in well-lit environments. The Mavic 3 series can avoid obstacles with great speed and smoothness, ensuring stable footage captured during lateral or backward flight while maintaining safety. Okay, so the Mavic 3 Pro would be your ideal choice if you're a pro-level creator looking for an attractive deal to get 3 cameras on one drone. One of the things, Marcus, and I don't know if you saw this right here, and that when they talked about the cameras, okay, I don't want to find this right here. A huge advantage for Mavic 3 Pro users is to get smooth and more natural transitions by switching between different focal lengths. They only need to tap on the Fly app screen. Okay, did you know that?
Well, you were able to do that in the past with the Mavic 3 to go to the to the telecamera. So
The telecamera, yeah. So I think that I think is pretty interesting. One of the other things is looking at the actual size of it. It's actually a little bit bigger than the other two.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Which
it's got that big honking schnoz hanging off the front.
It's got that. I'll call it the Jimmy Durante nose. Okay,
yeah.
And of course it weighs more, obviously, and and the one thing where that's going to suffer is we're going to have a little bit reduced runtime. But seriously, I mean, if it shaves 4 or 5 minutes off for me, if I'm up there for 35 minutes or so, I'm not going to complain. Okay, I better have gotten my shot in that kind of time frame.
Yeah. I never had a problem with the Mavic 3 battery wise. I always had more battery than I needed, so I'm sure this is going to be fine. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I always carried. I always went out and carried 2 batteries. I never touched the second battery. I mean, I'd be out there, take 3 or 4 flights, and I still have 20% left on the battery. I mean, original battery. So yeah. So, well, anyway, that's just summing up this article here. I thought it was a good look at comparing things. And I think, if you guys are still making a choice, I mean, because I think the biggest thing I've seen, Marcus, again, with this drone is not the feature set or anything. It's the price. People are balking again because of the price. But I thought DJI, and one of the things I'll say, you and I did it smart, okay? Because we're only getting the drone, the controller, and a battery, okay? Because we have the other stuff. I kept my other battery, I kept my charging base, and all that other stuff when I sold the other drone. So we're not having to spend additional resources for that. So
they actually reduced the price if you think about it, because I paid,
you're right.
I think I paid $21.49 when I bought my original Mavic 3. And that is, a good year and a half ago, maybe even a little more. And now this one, they moved it up to $2,200, $2,199 or whatever it is. But you get the DJI RC with it as well instead of the RCN1, which is an upgrade. So for a $50 price increase, and we know how much prices have gone up on everything else during that same period of time, I don't know. I kind of feel like they held the line pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like the old, and I said this when the Mini 3 Pro came out, because people were just, the price. And I always say, look at the value for the dollar. Okay. You're getting your money's worth with these drones. Okay. You're not getting shortchanged. The feature set, the functions, the software. I mean, it's all there. I mean, and also too, and I'll say this, okay, compared to other drones, and I'm even going to go with Autel, okay, out of the box, there's no better drone than I've owned than DJI. I mean, seriously, with maybe now, granted, I do what I do what I call Lauren's rule, okay, and I'm going to do this after I get this fired up, okay. I'm going to do, I'm going to do all the calibrations. I'm going to do the compass calibration. I'm going to do the,
IMU?
What's that?
IMU?
Yeah, the IMU. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the IMU calibration. I'm going to do the joystick calibration as well. Just for grins and giggles. Okay. Run everything and just have it be ready to go. I mean, that's one thing he's gotten me into a real good habit. Every time I get a brand new drone, that's the first thing that I do.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now, Bill. I'm going to, hopefully tomorrow, and I think our weather is going to be good, I'm going to head out to the Snake River Canyon with this guy. I'm going to fire it up for the very first time. Well, I'll listen. I take that back. I'll fire it up at home and update firmware because, right, it's easier to do that at home before you get it out in the field. However, I'll take it out in the field. I'll fire it up. If it doesn't ask it for any calibrations, I'm not going to do any calibrations. I'm going to take it up and I'm going to send that sucker right over the canyon.
Well, one of the other things that I've done with new drones, and Rick Smith taught me this, okay, is I take it up about maybe 20, 25 feet, and then I go forwards, backwards. I test the lateral function on it. I test the ability to brake on it. I test the ability to ascend. I test the ability to descend and stop, and just that it's holding and everything's where it should be. And then, looking at all the data that's coming across on the screen and make sure it's all kind of kosher. I do that. It's a real quick checkout. It doesn't take a long time, maybe 20, 30 seconds, but it gives me kind of a peace of mind. Okay.
I get that. I totally understand it. It's a great idea. Yeah.
And the other thing I got to do, okay, now that it came, I got to call or email State Farm so I can get this added to my personal articles policy. Because the other one, well, I sold this one and I bought this one now. Okay. And usually what happens, 99% of the time, it's a wash. I don't have to pay any additional premium for that. Okay. It's, it's straight up with that. So, but the other thing that I found out too, which is good for me, because I made quite a bit of investment with a new monitor and a new PC and everything. State Farm personal article policies also cover personal computers and hard drives and monitors and things like that. And I didn't know that. So State Farm has really gotten my business. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So they're thinking,
Bill, wouldn't that just normally be covered under your homeowner's insurance?
Well, normally, yes. But here in Florida, you know what our deductibles are?
Oh, are they insane?
Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a big problem right now with homeowners insurance in the state of Florida. Okay. Well, years ago, when mold first started rearing its ugly head, all these insurance companies had to file, pay these claims out, and they went belly up. Well, Nationwide Insurance, they're out of Florida. Okay. They won't handle, I don't even think they do auto in Florida anymore. A lot of other companies. And you had to scramble to find an insurance company. Plus the other thing is we have sinkholes here. Okay. And you got to get and sinkhole insurance and all. It's just, it's a mess. It's just,
Florida's full of fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. Okay. Like the gators in every one of our ponds on our properties right now. So we're having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
So how's the Avada doing?
Well, I just, in fact, I'm pulling the SD card out of the goggles right now and get it uploaded. I just did a flight at the school next door to me, and I adjusted. Let me see if I can grab it for you, and I'll show you. Hang on here. So on the Avada, you've got a joystick within a joystick right here. And when you first get it, those rates are very, very slow. So you push up, well, it goes up, but barely. Sideways, lateral flight, practically none at all. So the other day, I adjusted the rates up on the lateral flight to full speed. Well, it's too much. What I want to be able to do is do a rotation. So you can tilt it and move the joystick at the same time. So you're yawing and banking, just like you would if you were moving the sticks apart on a regular controller. And I did some rotations around my favorite cell phone tower that's next door to me. So yeah, I'm just learning how to use it, Bill. And then for a second, I put it into head tracking mode. I had it up way high because I was pretty nervous about it. And it works. Okay. That's something that's going to take some practice, but I'm pretty proud of being able to do rotations with this guy because I couldn't do that at first. So anyway, just put together a little video, and I'm kind of getting that stuff uploaded right now.
So how are the goggles for you?
They suck. I mean, they work. Listen, but I'm not comfortable with them. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't like not having situational awareness. The way my eyes work, I'm constantly having to. What do I do with the goggles? There's an inner pupillary movement here, and I'm constantly having to move that back and forth so that I can see the screen. But you know what? For the most part, it works. Those are the issues with me. Now, what I acknowledge is most people don't have those kind of problems. So that's just my particular situation. And it's just another thing. Here's the other thing about it is what I like, especially using like the RC Pros. You get out in the field, you turn on the drone, you turn on the controller, boom, you're ready to go. You're back to all that setup. You got to have the goggles on. You got to fire up this guy. You got to make sure everything's connected, and then off you go. But it's fun. It's different. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it. Will it replace my camera drones? Absolutely not.
Yeah. That's I would not be opposed to trying one sometime. I would do that. But I think I'm like you with my way my glasses are and my vision and everything. I just think it just. I don't know. And I know me, and wanting to know where things are and, just the whole thing.
So I'll give you an example. Just today when I was out there flying, I got all goggled up and I'm in a parking lot by the school. Then all of a sudden I hear a bunch of vehicles starting up and people hitting their horn honker and man, I don't like that. I like knowing what's going on around me. And, I picked up the goggles for a second and looked around so I could see what was going on. So yeah, those are the kind of things that'll kind of bug you a little bit, but I'm getting more used to this guy, and yeah, I'm having fun with it. The other thing I'll tell you, Bill, is I love the way that dot works in the goggles. You place that dot, that is where the drone is going to go. And it really helps you go through trees and things like that. And, you can get low to the ground and dive around and stuff. You just always got to remember the drone is going to go where you have that 0 in the middle of the screen. And as long as you keep that in mind, hey, you're staying out of trouble.
Hey, that's the name of the game with that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how, and I guess we'll find out, another time how it's going for Ron as well too.
He's doing okay with it. Yeah. He's been out with it a little bit. I'm glad you brought Ron up, Bill, because you may have already talked about it, but today is Susan Kelleher's birthday. That's his wife. Mm-hmm. And they are going out to, gosh darn it, he said the name of it, some lobster restaurant, lobster house, I think he called it. So
okay, well, if it's in New Jersey and it's by the shore, you're going to get some awesome seafood.
Anyway, happy birthday, Susan.
Yes, happy birthday, Susan. And I did mention that because Ron told me why he wouldn't be able to make it tonight, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like have a great time, have fun. I
Yeah.
mean, absolutely be enjoyable. Well, what I found out, and I know this is just off topic here for a second. My roommate from college, who I'm really good friends with, he's retiring on May 31st, which I am unbelievably happy for him. Okay. But also I'm like, doggone it, I still got 2 years left before I can retire. Right.
Yeah.
Just one of those kinds of things. So, well, I'm not going to get out with the Mavic 3 Pro until this weekend, okay? Because my
Darn
work.
it, Bill. How can you do that? How can
Well,
you?
I was actually planning on doing it tomorrow morning, like charge it up tonight and go out in the
Right.
morning. But okay, I tried signing on my work computer this morning, and we have Cisco AnyConnect, okay, and it wasn't working. I called our help desk up, and I have a docking station that they gave us, okay, and you know what docking
Right.
stations are
Yeah.
now. It's just like a little brick, and you plug stuff into it, okay.
It's basically a port forwarder, is all
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I undid the docking station and I typed on my laptop. I got right in. So they said, you have a bad docking station. You need to get it replaced. So I called the help desk again to order a new one. I got to go into the office tomorrow to do that. So normally I don't go into the office. I go in the office on Thursdays and Fridays. So I'm going in tomorrow instead. So
Precludes you from flying.
Precludes me from flying tomorrow. Well, see, it's just been, this one project that made me miss the South Florida drone meetup is still going cuckoo crazy right now. And I'm glad it's going to wind down a little bit enough. So, because next week we're headed up to Ohio. I'm glad it's kind of winding down for that. But boy, it's putting a crimp in my style. And it's just like, and on weekends, well, this weekend's Mother's Day. Okay. So my mother-in-law wanted to have a cookout at her house. So we're going over to have a cookout over at her house. And, it's just like going through, getting everything ready. Got to do it. It's just like one of those things, just have at it and do it to it. So, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your video and seeing how all three of those cameras are going to look out at the Snake River Canyon. I think that'll be a real good test of that.
I already got that shot figured out, Bill. I'm going to, I've got the Swan Falls Dam off in the distance. So I'm going to show the three locations. Then we have the Oahe Mountains off to the side. So should be able to show that compression that the telephoto cameras show. Lauren gave me a tip yesterday, sent me a message. He said, when you switch between those cameras, make sure you always tap to focus to get the best looking shot. So I'll definitely remember to do that.
Oh, that's a good point, because that would just, that would be so frustrating to do all that. And then you didn't tap to focus. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, you're going up there, you took a great drone flight. And this happened to me early on a couple times, and I pull the SD card out and there's nothing on there. Oops. One of those kind of things.
That is so frustrating. That's one of the things I do like about the Avada is I set it to auto record the goggles and auto record. As soon as the drone takes off, it starts recording. So
yeah, that's, and that's what I started doing. And that's what I told people early on is turn your recording on. But as you get more experienced, okay, you don't need to have it on all the time. All right.
Right.
Have it on for those shots that you want to capture. Now, for me with the Mavic 3 Pro, okay, we have that, and it's fantastic. Okay, we have that waterfalls, okay, at the entrance to our development, and then back behind it we have a clubhouse, and then off a little bit in the distance there's a big farm and there's a warehouse by the farm. So these three things will be within. That's what I'm planning on doing, like with a 24 millimeter shot, getting all of those. And then with a telephoto, I'm planning on hitting the clubhouse from that spot. So I think it'll come out really good. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, Koopy's giving me a hard time saying so that all the bad FPV footage will be auto recorded. Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much. Well, anyway, I'll leave that. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I was going to say something, completely lost my train of thought. Okay. Before you came on, we talked about, and I know you guys talked about last night too, that, Arkansas is now part of the states that don't do excluding DJI drones and Chinese drones. And Alabama came on board as well. I read that today. But what was real interesting was, and I wanted to get your take on this, was the state of Iowa is passing legislation to ban drone flights out in like rural areas. They don't want people flying over other properties out there, which I kind of, in a way, I kind of agree with that. Because one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to piss off a farmer. Okay. You just don't want to do that.
I don't know. The airspace it's navigable airspace, Bill. I disagree with that. Idaho has a law like that on the books already. And really, you're supposed to have not just permission, but written permission from any private property that you can see with the camera. So, I've never heard of it being enforced. Let's see. So Mark is saying something about the circle wasn't visible on your screen recording. I'm not sure about that, Mark. I'll have to go back and look and see what video you're talking about there. If it was the Avada, I don't remember not being able to see that circle. So anyway.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what I was going to say was, and Koopy brings it up too, and I think this is good. The FAA is in charge of the airspace. Okay, these local entities and states and things, they can pass all the laws they want to, but it's not going to supersede the FAA. I mean, that's just bottom line. Okay.
Yeah, there's already laws on the books. So if you're worried about a peeping Tom or whatever, somebody spying on your house, there's already laws on the books that say that you can't look in personal areas where people are at. So you're really covered. You don't really need to add any additional laws for drones. In other words, if I had a telephoto camera and I was across the street and looking in my neighbor's window, there's already laws on the books that say, no, you can't do that. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. People freak out when they see that drone up in the air.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. So, and it's just, and it seems like lately the news coming out about drones, okay, it's just like, except for these releases, okay, it's been really kind of a negative downturn as far as it's really, to me, when I first started out, like in 2016 with this, I mean, it was like, go out, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and now it's like, look over your shoulder because guess what? Somebody's watching. And,
well, sadly, we've got a few idiots out there, the ones that are flying into ballpark stadiums and into emergency responder areas and things like that. And I don't, there's always going to be a few people like that with anything, right? People ride their bicycles on walking paths, and so do we outlaw bicycles? It's
I know.
It's really kind of the same thing. So
yeah. So, but yeah, just I told everybody, as far as a programming note, we're still going to be here next week. Wednesday, we're heading up to Ohio next week for getting to meet our granddaughter for the first time, who we missed by 2 days in December, which was very ironic. And then we're going to head over to Dayton, or actually Xenia, Ohio, to be more specific, for Hamvention over there. It's the largest gathering of ham radio people in the United States.
Well, Bill, I don't know how long you're going to be there, but if you're going to be in Dayton, make sure you check out the Air Force Museum in Dayton.
Already done that.
It is unbelievable. Anybody that is interested in anything aeronautical, it's crazy.
My younger son and I actually took a bus out to the hangar where they have all the original Air Force Ones. And that actually is on the working part of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And they told us when you got on the bus, you're not allowed to take any pictures, okay? Because it is a military installation. You can't do that. But they had the Air Force One that JFK was on inside there. And what was interesting about it was they had it was a real narrow walkway, but there was plexiglass, but you couldn't get to the areas. You could see, but you couldn't get to the areas, and it was real narrow walking through there. I mean, you had a hard time. But it had Dwight Eisenhower, the plane that he first used. It had the one that Harry Truman had first used. It had one.
So it had the Dwight Eisenhower had the Lockheed Constellation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lockheed Constellation in there. Yeah, it's a big hangar. It's really big hangar.
That Constellation is one of the most beautiful aircraft ever built.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. And it was big. Now the one with Roosevelt, it was interesting. I don't recall what it was, but they installed like a special elevator because he had polio and was in a wheelchair. So the elevator brought him up to the flight deck, which was real interesting.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah. Well, we've been there plenty of times. Now the other place to go near Xenia, and it's actually near Cedarville, where my two older children went to college. There's Young's Dairy Farm over there, and some of the world's best ice cream. Okay, I won't even go there. Okay, not even going there. Any closing thoughts, Marcus?
Finally we're getting some decent weather, and flying season is here. So, man, get out there and fly. I am so excited to get this. This is the kind of drone that is my cup of tea. I'm having fun with that Avada, but this is the kind of drone that really floats my boat. So, I'm really looking forward to getting that guy out and taking it for a flight.
Yeah, same for me too. I'm looking forward to getting mine charged up, and I'm going to be heading out Saturday morning because it's just like the next 3 days duty calls. Like I said, I was going to get out. Our weather has actually, the wind is gone now, which was fantastic because you know what it was like when you were down here for the South Florida drone meetup, and it was just crazy. And then about 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden, it's just like somebody turned a faucet and it just stopped. It's gone. So it's been unbelievably awesome. So like I said, I'm looking forward to getting out Saturday. I'm going to probably go through a couple of batteries because I want to get it out and I want to get a lot of footage so I can put some good videos together. I'm real excited about it. I'm real anxious for it. So one of the other things of note for me personally, I'm rearranging. Well, I'm not rearranging the room, but I have a 49-inch monitor. It's going to be installed on an articulating arm by Geek Squad. And because I have Total Tech Care, you know how much the installation is going to cost me? No. Zero.
Oh, really?
It was normally $170. Zero. This Total Tech Care, they paid for the installation of a replacement hard drive in my desktop. It cost me $69 for the hard drive, zero for labor. Okay. Total Tech Care, it's like I'm sold for life on them. Okay. Unless they change their policy. It's just been absolutely fantastic. So that's happening this weekend. So I've been purging a lot of stuff around here and trying to get the area cleaned up. And I got a stand to put my laptop on. So it's going to be real interesting to see how all this pans out. So
good, Bill.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Great chat tonight, all you guys. And as always, guys, remember, it's a great day to fly. Have a great rest of your week. Take care, everybody.